What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. This is Randall Branch Media. I'm excited for this video, man. Before we even get started, I want to thank you guys for all the love and support you guys have shown in my last video where I was talking about making sure that we're not letting the gym become everything and that we're letting the gym be what it's supposed to be, which is the gym, and that we're making sure that we're progressive overloading and other aspects of life. That video is doing pretty well, man, and it's not really about how good it's doing, but it's more about my message getting out that I'm really happy about, because I really believe a lot of young people, specifically men, really need that message, man. So shout out to you guys for showing love to that video, and let's get right into this video, man. Today we're going to be talking about lower energy / energy dips during the day when you're getting lean or already lean. And this is a very important topic, especially for naturals. I mean, people who are enhanced, they also go through this when they're lean, but especially for naturals, I don't see this get talked about enough. A lot of times when we see a lot of lean people online or shredded people online, and there is a difference between lean and shredded. Specifically, I want to talk about just being lean, man, being between, let's say 9 to 15%, right? Below 9%, you're getting pretty shredded. Let's just say lean right now, right? I want to talk about this because I don't see a lot of people talking about this, man. You'll see a lot of people, they'll show their physique. Obviously, they look good. They'll show like their calories and stuff like that. But they don't show like the random, or talk about the random energy crash that they get at 1 p.m. or in the gym, like their stomach growling in the middle of a set. You know, I don't see a lot of people talk about this. So this is what I want to talk about. So the single best way to deal with energy dips / lower energy when you're getting lean or already lean is learning how to properly use carbs. And this is a very, 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 very important thing that isn't talked about enough. It's talked about a lot with bodybuilding, and bodybuilders know the importance of carbs, but I don't think the average person who's just looking to get into good shape understands the importance of carbs. Guys, carbs are extremely, extremely, extremely important. We hear all the time, get your protein, get your protein, get your protein. Nobody ever talks about getting your carbs in. And again, I'm talking about people who are just looking to build a nice aesthetic, athletic physique, you know, people who work out. I'm not talking about people who compete, who are stepping on stage and stuff like that. Those people, they understand the importance of carbs. But a lot of people who are just, you know, your local people at 24 Hour Fitness who just want to get in elite shape, or your local people at your school gym or whatever, they don't understand the importance of carbs. And guys, carbs are extremely important. When we're getting lean, our goal should be to keep carbs as high as possible. Now, do carbs need to get cut when we're getting lean? Yes, they do need to get cut. You will not be able to cut on the same amount of carbs as you bulk on, you know, especially if you care about having your fats at a proper place, which honestly a lot of people don't. But if you're natural, you definitely need to make sure that your fats are in a proper place. You should not be eating, for men, below, I can't really speak for women in this topic because I'm not sure, but for men, you should not be eating below 50 grams of fat. I don't care how low your calories are. You should not be eating below 50 grams of fat if you're natural, right? And obviously, we understand the importance of protein. But carbs are also extremely important. And yes, they do need to get cut when you're getting lean. And when you already are lean, when you're maintaining, your maintenance will be a little lower, not super low, but it will be a little lower than what it was when you were at your heaviest weight, especially if you're, you know, cutting a significant amount of weight, right? But the carbs are still going to be important. And the best thing we could do with carbs is to schedule them before our workout and right after our workout. Those are going to be like the two biggest windows for where we need our carbs. We need our carbs before our workout to be able to give us that energy, you know, in order for us to push through a high volume session. You guys know I like high volume. And even if you train low volume, you're still training hard, right? And if you train high volume, you're training hard. Regardless, you're training hard. So you're going to need those carbs. And then after, we're going to replenish glycogen, right? And our glycogen is already going to be a little low while we're cutting because we're cutting our carbs. So the last thing we want to do is be on low carbs and then also not be getting carbs in before and after workouts. You know, and a lot of people, I know a lot of people watching this probably also work 9 to 5s or work businesses, you know, either or. I assume you're doing one. I hope you're not unemployed and not doing anything, right? So I assume you're doing one of those two. You might have a situation come up where like you have a very important meeting, or if you're a business owner, you might have a very important post that you need to get up or whatever. You might be working with a client or whatever it may be. 9 to 5 again, you might have a meeting. You might have something that you got to do, whatever is important. You need to make sure you have carbs around that window as well, right? Brain fog is something that comes up, and it ties into the lower energy slash just feeling a little drained throughout the day. That includes brain fog. And that's one of the things that stops people from getting, I want to say men getting below like 12, 13% is that brain fog that sometimes comes across when you're 11, 10% and lower. And right now I'm sitting at about 11, 12%. And I do get brain fog sometimes. And one of the best things that I could do is to make sure that my carbs are in a good spot, because usually that brain fog is just signaling to you that your blood sugar is pretty low. And how do you get your blood sugar back to where it needs to be is by eating, and then eating specifically carbs, because carbs are sugar, right? So these are very important nuances that a lot of people, they don't talk about a lot, and they get talked about a lot in bodybuilding. But again, I tell you guys, I'm not a bodybuilder. Am I building my body? Yes, but I am not a bodybuilder. I consider myself an athlete. I don't just lift weights. I box, I run, get 20,000 steps in a day. You know, I'm very active, man. I treat myself like an athlete. And carbs are very important, guys. They're very, very important. I'll talk about this more in the future, but let's just keep it to what I'm talking about right now with the energy dips and stuff. The main thing that's going to help is the carbs. Secondly, I advise against aggressive cuts. Now, are aggressive cuts good? And do they get the job done? Can you aggressive cut if you're, let's say, 16% looking to get to 12% in, 5-6 weeks? Yes. But most people are about 20+% body fat for men, and for women, 30+% body fat. And they're looking to lose 10% plus of body fat. You should not be aggressive cutting more than 3 to 4% body fat. Like it does not make sense to aggressive cut down 10% body fat. You're putting yourself at an extreme disadvantage when it comes to training, when it comes to your mental set, when it comes to sleep, when it comes to recovery. Like, you're just putting yourself in a grave hole, which is what a deficit is, man. It's a recovery deficit. Like, you're going to be living a very, very, very hard life when you aggressive cut, quote unquote, aggressive cut for longer than, 6 weeks. The point of an aggressive cut is to get in and out of a cut in 4 to 6 weeks, maybe even 3 to 6 weeks, right? If you have enough weight to lose where it should take you longer than 6 weeks, like if you have more than 12, 15 pounds to lose, you should not be in an aggressive cut. Now, if you are extremely overweight, you will lose weight a little faster. You could lose anywhere up to 4 pounds, right? If you're 200 pounds overweight a week, you could do that. But once you get into like a normal rate or normal weight range, let's say you're a man and you're 220, you're a lady, you're 190 or whatever, and you're looking to just lose 30, 40 pounds, the 1 to 2.5 pound range is going to be very, very good. We could all admit that half a pound is pretty slow, but 1 to 2.5 pounds a week is going to be good, man. So a lot of people, they get, I'm having energy dips. I'm crashing during the day. My energy's low. That should not be happening if you're above, if you're above 15, 16% for men and above 25, 26% for women. You should not be having crazy energy dips. If you are, it's because you're cutting way too low in calories. And you'll see a lot. Somebody will be like 10% body fat and they're cutting on like 2,400. And then somebody else will be 30% body fat, cutting on 1,600 calories, trying to rush the process. Like, why are you cutting more than this person, and this person has a way lower maintenance than you, because your maintenance is high enough to maintain that 350 pound weight, that you're carrying around. So that's a little tangent, but I say all that to say, if you have an extreme amount of weight to lose, you should not be aggressive cutting. And that's going to be the main reason why you're having energy dips and lower energy while you're cutting. Now, if you already are lean, like I said, 15, 16% for men, 25, 26% for women, and you're looking to get leaner, yes, you will have energy dips. And no, it's not because you're cutting aggressively. If it's between 1 and 2.5 pounds, it's more than likely, number one, that you're not using carbs properly. And number two, just part of the process. So that's what I'll close this off by saying, is that there is a part of cutting where, regardless of if you're making sure your macros are on point and your macro timing is on point, your sleep is on point, you will still feel like you're cutting. Like, it's not like you're just going to skip over the process of feeling like you're cutting. But my main goal with this video is just to push the importance of carbs and push the importance of pacing, when cutting, because those are two things that we can control. And we need to be controlling what we can control in order for us to have the best cut possible. If you would like me to coach you through this process of getting lean, getting shredded, building a nice, lean, aesthetic, athletic physique, not a bodybuilder physique, right? A functional physique. You guys can find my information in the description. And yeah, man, I'll be here for this video, man. This is Random Branch Media. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you got value from this video. And I'll be back with another video later on this week. You guys have a good one.